Please like and subscribe, and go to prophotoedits.com where you can download my Lightroom presets and Photoshop actions. So hey guys, today I just wanted to make a quick video about what I believe to be is the ultimate portrait lens of all time. And for me, that's the 200mm f2. I have the Nikon version, VR1. I got it for, a relatively good deal. And it's a pretty expensive lens. It's almost $6,000 if you buy it new. And I say that having shot 85 1.2s, 85 1.4, 105 1.4, 135 1.8. I mean, I own all those lenses as well. I'm kind of a lens hoarder. So all these images are going to be from the 200 f2, and I have a little bit of through the lens stuff from some of the shoots too. And of course edited with my Lightroom presets and Photoshop actions. The 200 f2 is pretty incredible. Yes, it's huge. It feels like 8 pounds. You have to have a separate bag for it if you're bringing all your gear with you, and it's kind of I don't want to call it a one-trick pony, but you need a lot of space. You have to have separation in order to get good results with this lens. And at first when I got it, I saved up for it and I bought it, and I was, it took me a while to get used to it, just like anything else. Where will I use this lens? If I want to use this lens as my main lens, and that's going to be my style, then I have to choose locations where I shoot that have a lot of room, that don't end in, just a line of trees, because it's just going to turn into a black mush back there. I want to have open fields. I need to have water. I need to have enough space to where, it's making sense to shoot with this lens. This lens needs like a football field of space to actually, be used for what it's good for. But as you can see in this image right here, or just the behind the scenes from this, I had a couple models out in the cherry blossoms when they bloomed, and this is just on the street and a couple neighborhoods down. So check out the background. You can see there's streets on both sides of these trees. You couldn't shoot this with any other lens, or you'd see the streets on both sides. So as the background, comes into focus when I'm focusing on her, or goes out of focus, I should say, it just turns into a beautiful sea of colors. And I needed enough compression to where the streets wouldn't be that evident. There wasn't any other way to shoot this. And this is one of the shots we got with the other model. And I edited it a little bit, but the colors are just beautiful there. I pulled all the pinks back out in the trees, but it just turned into such a sea of colors. And she's tack sharp. If you would have tried to shoot this with an 85, with a 105, I mean, I had them all with me. With 135, even, it just wouldn't have compressed those streets enough on the side. And this is just one example of how incredible this lens is. So I use this lens for models, I use this lens for families, I use this lens for children, newborns, maternity, headshots. I'll run through a bunch of these images with you and just show you what this lens brings to the table. So if you could find a patch of grass, even just like in this shot right here, that's all the grass that we had, and we made it look like an epic field with these two models here with the 200 f2. The bottom of this is the makeup artist and my friend holding the I wanted to do natural light on this day, so she was just holding the umbrella that we had because it was raining earlier, just to block a little bit of the light out of their face. And that's what we were dealing with, a little patch of overgrown grass. And we actually ended up with a beautiful shot, as you see on top, with the models together, and it just looks like a sea of colors. I mean, no other lens on this planet can do that, unless you wanted to go up to a 300 2.8 or something like that, but then you're just going to be so far away. It's already somewhat difficult to communicate from this far away, but 300 I think is just out of the question. And then you have the issues where people that are just, a normal sized human being, that just stretch them too much. 200 is right on the edge of, a little bit too much compression for some people's figures. So the sun was setting in this shot, as you can see over to the right, and I lit this with the beauty dish just right out of the frame to the right hand side. And I used a bunch of lenses on this shot, just real quick, and the 200, it was obvious that was the one I needed to use for that. Just with children, you can make fields look like they go on forever. High school seniors, it's just That's total isolation, more children. Children really love this lens because it allows you to be far enough away where you're not intimidating. You're just meeting these kids a lot of time for the first time. This was her first taste of Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? We got to document that, um, and it looks really epic to me. Uh, Newborns in a basket. Newborns are always fun to shoot, but you don't need that much room in order to make these shots, wall hangers for people. This was just on a little trail that you can walk down. It's maybe 20 yards long. You can find one of those places anywhere. Full body, headshots. It just makes the background totally disappear. It's tack sharp. I lit this with a 48-inch parabolic softbox to the right, and high-speed sync, but she was totally happy with this. Just a beautiful rendition of that shot. Sometimes for fashion, I use the lens, with models. It looks really well. I use it for some fantasy shots. As long as you have a nice open area, like I said earlier, um, it's it's really good up close. It focuses so fast. It's the fastest focusing lens I've ever laid my hands on. It handles flare okay. I mean, it's the front element is so huge. It's like, the size of a grapefruit. So, I got this shot when the sun was setting. Had it been another 5 minutes and the sun came down a little bit lower, it would have just flared out and it wouldn't have been usable. So you have to think about that when you're using this lens. The colors on this lens are really epic. It has incredible colors that you can pull from it. And for couple shoots, you can't go wrong with this lens. It just I've never had a client that wasn't happy with the images that I give back after I use this lens. And creatively, I mean, if you're having a day where you don't have a bunch of ideas in your mind, pull this lens out and it'll help you out a little bit. So, okay, y'all, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little rundown on this lens since a lot of people ask me about it and is it worth the investment? Only you can answer that. This lens is for pictures that people want to hang on their wall, in my opinion. It's kind of timeless. You won't see a lot of people out there doing images like this just because the lens is kind of rare and it's expensive and it's heavy and a lot of people don't want to deal with it and you have to be further back away from your subjects. So, um, you might want to rent it. That's what I would do. I just rent the lens and check it out. I wouldn't go with it only being the only lens in my bag. It's the 85, the 105, the 35, and the 50. But yeah, so next time we get together, I'll give you guys another editing video and some behind the scenes stuff. I have so much cool stuff coming up this year. I'm excited to share with you guys and have some surprises coming up as well. So I'll talk to you guys soon.